happened to media rooms? How come those don't exist anymore? When did they start cheaping out on the media room?
Where was
the money, Andrew.
Where was the fight at?
It was at the Park Theater. So, okay, so you don't know this because you don't go to Vegas anymore, Andrew, because you have 15 kids. The Park Theater was built right next to, it's between the New York, the new arena, and now what's called the Park MGM, which is formerly whatever that shit bag was before, right? So they remodeled one of their hotels and called it the Park MGM. There's now a theater on the side. That's right. It's all, there's like an outdoor walk. You got to come to Vegas, asshole.
I know.
Swear to God, dude, it's changed so much.
Kind of seems sad. Yeah, it kind of seems sad.
That whole area is really nice. I'm telling you, I drove in at 3 o'clock. I went to, should I just cover my whole weekend? So I started out Friday at FFC at the Rio. FFC, Final Fight Challenge, is a mixed... So what they did is they basically booked the Rio for 10 straight weeks. And they've got a 1-hour program on CBS Sports. And they have boxing, kickboxing, and mixed martial arts. And they'll combine it all on the same card. So if you go to see it live for an hour and a half, you get... It's like a 90-minute show when you show up live. Maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours. It's not a horrible evening. Tickets are really well-priced. The night I went, they had nothing but MMA, but we had good knockouts. They had the heavyweight title defended. That was a shit show. I'll talk about that on the bonus shit. So for those of you wondering, go to fightnetradio.com, and you can listen to the bonus shit this week.
I just got a friend request from Alan.
From Alan?
Yeah, that lady commentator morning show. What did she do, Ellen?
Ellen DeGeneres?
Yeah.
Andrew. I fucked her too.
I'm gonna confirm. No,
okay.
I'm just kidding. That's
that's crazy if that's true.
It is. I'll send it by. I'll take a photo right now.
So I went to FFC. Then the next day I went and watched amateur wrestling over at the Westgate, which is the old Hilton, which is where the sports book is that I like. That's a long explanation. I also went to a lighting and trade show. And then at 3 o'clock, I went over, right? Put air in my tire, got gas in my car, because you know me. As soon as the night's over, I'm getting in the car and driving home. People don't know this about me. I like driving home from Vegas in the middle of the night. There's no fucking traffic. It's less dangerous. You just got to circumnavigate a few drunks as compared to a lot of drunks on Sunday morning.
Pissed off people.
Dude, let me tell you, people on Saturday night are fucked up. Dude, it's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm looking at legitimate, like, you're not in your lane. I saw one car legit roll at the side of the road. There's no way that's really Ellen.
I told you.
Show's already crazy and out of hand. All right, so I got there about 3 o'clock to see what my status was for seating. Since we were sitting, you couldn't see it from the way they shot it. We're on the stage with the cameras looking into the audience. Okay, they put the ring basically in the middle of the audience and put seats all around it. So they shoot it from the stage back. The stage is basically the far corner is nothing but, and how do I say this? It's Asian reporters for everywhere. Like I've never seen. I didn't know there were that many Asian reporters. I think all of Japan was there.
Let me confirm it for you. That was a lot of zipper heads.
All right. So they were all there. There were a lot of them. A lot of Asians. Lots and lots of them, Andrew. And then,
Lee, he got 17 million views on one of his fights in Japan.
Dude, it's crazy. Like,
yeah, so he's pretty popular.
Crazy amounts of Japanese reporters.
Yeah, he's pretty popular.
And then there were like 10 of us who cover boxing who came to see the fight. There were some regulars. There were. I will admittedly say there were some regulars there to see the fight. And so we all hung out. We started watching fights at about, whatever it was, 3:30, 4 o'clock. I think the first fight was at 4:05. That'll tell you. The co-main event went off at 7:30. So we had 3.5 hours of almost nonstop boxing. 3.5 hours, Andrew. And I got to see Conlon fight. Not impressed. okay, so explain this obsession with what I saw. Like, okay, do you want me to cover the whole card? Because I did. I took notes. Do you want me
Go ahead.
Do you want me to actually act like I was prepared?
That's what you're there to do.
All right. Let's see. Where am I? Where are my results? I have them somewhere. This one?
Email.
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Email on its way.
Email's on its way?
Yeah.
You're sending me one?
Yeah, I just got it. My laptop back up.
Wow. And now I can't find my complete results of the world being stunned. There was, like, I had an actual press release with full details of this insanity that went down. There's event locations and time. I've lost it. How is that possible? Oh, well. All right. Well, let's just get to what matters, all right?
Fuck the undercard. Co-main
Well,
event.
no. I mean, the only reason to watch the undercard was to watch Oscar De La Conlon, and that was it. Conlon literally moved up against a career journeyman, and he had to go the distance. That's a little disappointing in my mind.
Yeah,
I think
no doubt.
If you're going to be De La Hoya light, right? So let me explain the wet fantasy of all boxing promoters. I know that you guys who listen to this show don't get this, but I'm going to explain it. It is a white Olympian who's Irish who can knock people out.
Saul Alvarez.
Let me say again, a white Olympic athlete. The closest Bob ever got previously was Oscar De La Hoya, right? That's the closest he ever got to the wet dream. And Oscar was fantastic in his first, 15 fights? We had a couple of very sketchy moments where Oscar didn't warm up and didn't take the fight seriously. A couple of times. I was at a few of those fights.
Yes. What was his first win? That was a questionable one early in his career because he had one at lightweight.
He was on the undercard of something at Caesar's Palace where he didn't even look like he warmed up before the fight. Like, he just came out throwing T-shirts.
Remember George Foreman keeps saying he grew up as... Was it John Molina? It might have been John Molina that takes Oscar the distance. And George Foreman keeps saying, he grew up tonight, Jim. He's a man tonight. Right. Really, he was getting his ass whooped.
So...
He was taking his ass whooping like a man that night. I want to say John is the first one at lightweight.
The Irish cracker, Michael Conlon, the man most known for flipping off the referees at the Olympic, moves up to journeyman. He fights a journeyman level guy, and he goes a full 8. And he gets the decision. It's unanimous. Good for him. But it wasn't impressive. I mean, with that much press there, especially international press, you could actually make a splash with that fight, right? Which takes us to the co-main event of the evening. Mad Max Dadashev out of the Fight Laboratory in Oxnard, California. And the first comment I made while we watched it was, he looks like Vasily Lomachenko light. He fights like Vasily Lomachenko. He crouches down, he shoots up angles, he shoots from all over the place. He basically decisions... I'll say this, Antonio DeMarco had a lot of heart. A lot of heart in the kid, right? Here's the first question I have. When have you heard of a 10-round championship fight?
Yeah, no doubt.
Why did that happen? Like, I almost went over to Joe Cortez and go, why are we only having a 10-round NABF title fight? Like, I've never even heard of that. I don't think I can recall seeing a 10-round championship fight. Can you?
Well, the NABF, no, I guess not off the top of my head. I can't think of like a decision.
It was.
You know what I mean? But the NABF title, how many times are we really watching these championship fights? You know, I better look up the NABF rules. It could be something for that. Matter of fact, that's a good question. Google that. I want to know if the NABF rules is only 10 rounds or 12.
It has to be 12. Why would it be any different? But yeah.
Because it's the NABF. It's like it's a small belt. So it's like it's a stepping stone belt.
So for those of you who don't know, Mad Max Dadashev, who comes out of the Fight Laboratory in Oxnard, California, he trains with Vasily Lomachenko, Sergey Kovalev. Like, they all come out of this one Oxnard camp. In fact, I got an invitation to go tomorrow and see Vasily Lomachenko spar. I don't want to drive to Oxnard, Andrew. I could care less.
Well, I
got a nice invitation, but it's fucking Oxnard. Let's be perfectly honest. What a shithole. And if you're from Oxnard and you listen to this show, you live in a shithole. All right? I'm just saying. I don't even know why the Russians have decided to take over Oxnard, but it's a good place for the white people. I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere. They get a little bit of coast. It's kind of overcast all the time. You know what? It kind of strikes me as being kind of like Russia. I don't know anything about Russia. I don't like Russians. Neither do you. And so Oxnard and Russia kind of go together. So for those of you who didn't watch the fight, go back and watch it on your ESPN Sports app. But it was interesting. I mean, from the perspective of DeMarco having enough heart to go 12 rounds, that's what I thought made it interesting, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, DeMarco's retired twice. I didn't expect that type of fight. He did put on a hell of a fight against the kid. He was landing, what was it? It was the fight of the hooks, wasn't it? Wasn't it like a right hook versus a left hook all night? Yeah. Once in a while you've seen a straight punch, but really it was both guys trying to land the money punch with either the right or the left hook. As far as the Russian kid, you fought Antonio DeMarco, so I don't know how high he's going to go in the rankings. Literally, ESPN okay, pause. First thing I want to say about the ESPN app, Lee, I like the picture. I like the fact that I could watch it on my phone, I could watch it on a computer, could watch it on a smart TV. I don't like the streaming service of it right now. They need to get this correct. Now, I don't know if it's my computers. I don't know if everyone's having issues of these things pausing.
Dude, you live in the hood. Of course it's you.
My porn comes in fine.
That's true.
A lot of the other NFL streams come in fine. When I'm watching two games, one on TV, one on my computer, I have no problems. Have that Xfinity online bullshit where you can watch your TV on your laptop, have no problems. But for some reason, on this fight, you're either getting it freezing, literally saying, please reload, and you're missing like 2 rounds, or it's constantly speeding up back to live.
That happens. And it could be the service that they're trying to get right. I just know that a lot of the...
right. Wait a minute, Lee, we're spending $5.99 a month.
I get that.
Go to Pornhub, get whatever the fuck they're doing over there, because they send that shit out for free, and it never freezes.
It never freezes.
I'm dead serious. Lee, it was so maddening. I went back to watch the fight over. When you text me, I was asleep, dude. I was trying to watch it on my phone. The shit got boring. I put it down. I was asleep. I woke up like at midnight, like, fuck. I didn't even watch the main event, the full main event. Then I look at your text and you're like, this is epic. I'm like, shit, I got to watch it.
It was fucking epic.
I know, I did. I watched it.
Jesus, the main event was, and my comment on social media was, I don't think that I've ever been, 20 feet away from two guys who were, how do I describe this? So I knew the outcome of the fight in the first round. And it wasn't because of me. It was because of another reporter from, get this, Andrew, there's a radio show or whatever he does he had the shit seats behind me. But I befriended him and bought him a hot dog. And he goes, I've been here all week. I said, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, there's no way Murata's winning. He showed up like this fight was nothing. And he goes, I talked to Brant. Brant's attitude is totally different.
Yeah, he said it was his Super Bowl. Said it was a moment he was waiting for his whole life, and he fought like it.
He did. But my comment during the fight, I was hanging out with the guys from Ring and Joe Cortez. There was actually a pretty cool group of us standing around on stage watching this fight. And we kept moving in closer and closer to the edge of the stage, which was really interesting. If they had turned the camera, you would have saw a wall of us standing up at the front of the stage watching this with our mouths open.
Over 2,000 punches thrown or some shit like that.
Crazy ass fight, dude. It was a Rocky movie. They're throwing bombs. So